All right, hello everyone. This is Josh, also known as Yashu. You're just tuning into another episode of the TLOY Talks podcast. You can get this on all platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Buzzsprout, much more. Check out the Patreon as well too. But before we get everything started, I actually want to give a quick shout out to my barber for a bit too, Kelvin from Supreme Barbershop. So it's by Young and Shepherd, like just close by to the studio and all that too. So basically, I got this dope cut just some days back and all that. Kelvin did his thing with the razors, everything else too. You can get it for a good deal and all that too. So definitely check out his IG. Definitely check out Supreme Barbershop, for all your haircut needs, whether you need a fade, classic haircut, old man haircut, much more and all that too. But yeah, I'm definitely going to get it started right here and all that. So we actually have one of the rising artists in the GTA music scene and all that, compared to the likes of like DC the Don, Eam Trimplin, and much more too. This young visionary has like a unique sound, like when it comes to the music, creativity, has dropped like a lot of songs like Tonight, Pretty Liar, You're Mine, and We Don't Drown. So we have Kadar in the building. How are you doing today, man?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing all right, man. I mean, it's a dope Saturday and all that too. I was like even talking about just like listening to the music and all that too, like rocking with the vibe and all that, and
hmm
it's just amazing to see and all that. Because you kind of remind me of some of like the contemporaries within the underground scene as well as even like remnants of like Mac Miller and Earl Sweatshirt as well too, pre
Yeah.
like Mac Miller Earl Sweatshirt too. So it's just like an amazing vibe and all that.
Okay.
I actually want to get it like started for a bit too. So, where did you like grow up, and was it like big for music at the time growing up?
Honestly, I grew up in Brampton. Like I've always been in Brampton. I've never like moved out of there yet. Um, Music around the area, like it wasn't really that big. I don't really remember like any artists really like around there.
Okay,
But like in my household, music was really big.
okay,
Like music all the time. Blasting music, listening to music, artists like Aaliyah, MF Doom, like yeah.
that's fine.
There's a lot of artists in the house,
Yeah,
so
man.
you
So,
know,
like usually, like the music's like more like when you're like into like Sunday cleaning or just like get-togethers and all that type of stuff too.
everything,
All right,
like every day.
yeah, man.
So
Nah, that's a unique blend of sounds too, because it's a very like a differing comparison with MF Doom being like the abstract like hip hop and all that, and like Aaliyah being R&B and all that. It's like a great like
yeah,
vibe and all that too. And sadly they passed away at certain ages, so rest in
hmm
peace to them too. But either way, too. I know with Brampton, like I know it has a unique music scene too, with like the likes of like Tory Lanez, Lisa Cara, Toby. I think even not sure about this. There was Ryan Douglas, who's like a dope R&B artist. A variety of sounds, and like Jay and Trey for y'all entertainment too. Like for the creatives too, they have a
hmm
TV show on Crave as well too. So like it is like kind of like amazing in that sense when you talk more about it. But even in that same area growing up, was it like what was like the environment like growing up?
my environment growing up, like it was amazing. Like it was really like I never really had any hardships growing up. Like I grew up in like a two-parent household. I have three other siblings. We're all close together, so there's not much struggle there.
Okay,
I
yeah,
would say like I had a good environment.
that's facts. And I'm guessing like your identity, like growing up and all that too. Like, what were you kind of like growing up? Were you someone that's very like adventurous, like when it comes to fighting stuff, or did it like hone on until like you got like older and all that?
Honestly, growing up, I was really like closed in. Maybe like an introvert. I wouldn't even like even me doing this now. Like back then, I couldn't see myself doing
Okay,
this now. Going to like events, talking to people, I would never see myself doing that.
okay.
But like now, I feel like I've kind of like worked myself out of that. So you know,
Yeah, that's facts. And I know like usually someone who's like in music and like or is someone that's like involved in music in some way too. A lot of people like are introduced to music at certain aspects too. So I know that you talked about like tapping into like Aaliyah and like MF Doom and all that, but who are
mhm.
like some other artists that you kind of grew up like listening to that you kind of liked, or like even like sounds well.
Artists I grew up listening to, I would say like Gucci Mane, uh, really just like trap music like as a
Okay,
bunch. But there's also like R&B artists that like I grew up listening to too. So like really there's just like a whole bunch of different genres I've grew up listening to.
that's facts, man. And how did you get into like rapping and like making music?
Rapping, I would say I got into that from my dad, like, cause like he's a rapper too. But making music, I would say that's my brother. Like,
Okay.
cause one day, him and his friend was just making music on BandLab. I was just like, what is this? Like, like we've always been rapping, freestyling and stuff.
Okay.
So like when I heard this thing called BandLab, I was like, let me try it out too. So then after like, I started making music through BandLab. I think I made like 4 songs.
Okay.
And then after switched to FL.
Yeah. Because I know like BandLab versus like Free Loops, and then also other like platforms like Logic Pro and all that, like Pro Tools. It's like a wide variety of like differences based on the capability of what you could do. Like BandLab, you could like play like 1-2 keys, but like it can only go as like so far with like Fruity Loops. You could do like a variety of sounds, like
Yeah.
and I think you could like pay for like the full product for like $400 and all that too, and like you can keep that. You could also like download like a cloud version of it, so it's good to use like whether you're using like on one device or other devices as well. So
Yeah.
man. And like when you talked about like your dad and like your brother for a bit too, like so as far as like their influences go, so were they more so into artists like MF Doom and Aaliyah, or like were they like into like a variety of like other sounds too?
Well, I would say like my dad is more into like the hip hop side. So like West Side Gun, MF Doom,
Okay.
like really just that side of music. My brother, he's more like, actually he listens to that type of music too. But like he's more like R&B or like Tyler the Creator. That's like the kind of music he listens to.
Okay.
So
that's facts, man. And what inspired you to like even rap and like even like take it seriously and all that?
what inspired me is like I like to do it. So like why wouldn't I do it? I can make money from it. I could like monetize my voice. I like to like use my voice and like put my thoughts on paper, put my thoughts, music, push my sound. So
Okay.
Yeah,
no, it's amazing to hear and all that. And like as far as like influences go, like I know you talked about like Gucci Mane and all that too, but like as far as like your own sound, your own creativity and all that, like who are like some artists that you were like mainly like influenced by, like in that sense?
Okay, right now I'm influenced by like NYC drill. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I listen to a lot of artists like Cash Cobain, Chow Lee, Lonnie Love. Like there's a lot of artists that I listen to, like from that side. But I'm also influenced by like UK rap. So like Burna or like Ants Live,
Yeah.
Or even Len. Yeah. Yo, there's so much artists, man.
I know what you mean. I know with the like sample drill stuff, like I know even with the slizzy drill, like it has like a unique vibe that's like catered even to like the sounds of today too, with Drake, Don Toliver, much more. I mean the UK stuff since like Skepta, like First Blue, like that was like a crazy scene out of like the water soon. Like a lot of like young emerging talent like came through there, like Nux, like Stormzy, like AJ Tracy, a variety of sound too, and like it's like honed into the Toronto and to the GTA too. And I also want to get like your opinion as well too. Like, what do you think about like sample drilling nowadays too? Because I know like a lot of the artists like B-Love, Cash Cobain, Chow Lee, Basswag are like kind of doing it in their music and all that.
I feel like if you're gonna sample a song, as long as you give credits and like the credit goes where like it needs to be, then there's nothing wrong with sampling. Like sampling music, like it's there. Like we should like push the sound,
All right, that's facts too. And are these like artists that you want to work with someday musically, or do you have an array that you want to like work with, like in a sense?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'd work with like Cash Cobain, like, I feel like he really started that whole thing.
Okay. That's facts, man. And in terms of your creative process, so like what's that like when making music, and like what would like a day in like making music be like for you?
Okay. Well, I could just like start from the beginning. So a day making music, I have 2 brothers that make music. So I have an older brother, his name is Mal B, and like he's a producer and he produces all my music. And then my other brother, he's the same age as me. He raps and he produces, but like he's more so on the producer side right now instead of like rapping, but he has songs released.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay, but like a day in my life, like making music, I normally like to do music on an empty stomach. I don't know. That's just how I do it. I normally have like water and then after like an empty stomach. And I like to make it. Um, I record my vocals, and then after, me and my older brother, like the producer, we work on the song together. So like we engineer it together and stuff.
Okay, that's
So
fine.
just to try to like make the best product we can. But yeah.
Sure. And when you spoke about like engineering too, like that's like very like interesting too. So when did
Mhm.
you like get that started too? And like was it something that, kind of came like, within time and all that to kind of like mix in like the stuff very well and even with mastering too, or
Yeah, that all really just came with time. I feel like every song I'm just trying to like make my mix better and better, make the mastering better and better.
okay.
Like I'm really just trying to like make better music for everything that I drop.
Okay, that's facts. And so it's like even when you said like, you're making music like on an empty stomach and all that too. So like I guess that kind of goes for like maybe like maybe like a certain amount of hours, then take a break and all that, or like when do you feel like that like stops like for a bit too, like when you get like hungry or
Honestly, I stop when I can't rap anymore.
all
So
right.
like I'd go on maybe like 5 hours making music, and then after I'd stop, get something to eat, maybe watch a show or something.
Okay, that's facts, man.
Yeah.
And your stage name, it's actually like very like interesting too. So how did you manage like to get that name?
Honestly, my stage name is my real name, like
Okay.
my government name. Um, I would say like my name means black. So, I feel like it was kind of like a nice thing to just like name myself my real name. I don't have to like make two, you know how like some artists have like an alter ego?
Okay.
I'm not really one of those artists.
All right.
I like to keep everything like together.
Yeah, that's facts, man. And I know that I've like rambled on for a bit too, like on how your sound like kind of sounds like in my opinion too. But for people that want to like hear about you for like the first time too, like how would you describe your music to them, and what can they expect?
Honestly, I like to make music like what they can expect. I like to make music for like the women. But like I also like to make music for guys too.
Okay.
Like I want everybody to enjoy my music. Kids, I don't really know. If they like it, they like it.
All right.
But
Nice.
like I like them to like enjoy it. Like my lyrical content, I talk about fashion, like money, the girls, like really just things that people want to hear about.
Yeah.
So that's what they can expect from me.
Yeah, that's facts. And when you talk about fashion, like I like the fit that you have on right there with like the hat and all that,
Appreciate
and
you.
even I think with the like bracelets and all
Oh,
that too. So
yeah, these are from Trinidad. These are a gift from my
okay,
mom.
all right.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're Trini and all that.
Yeah, I'm like half Trinidadian and half Jamaican.
Okay, that's facts. Yeah, I know. There's another artist that I've had on the platform more about Bugs.
Hmm.
He's half Trini, half Jamaican too. So a great amount of like cultures like in that sense too. Like Jamaican foods, like top tier and all that.
Amazing, yeah.
But Trini food, it has a special side. Like I know
Hmm.
the double scene, it's like very amazing, and then I know
Yeah.
also that they have like the curry goat and all that too. So
Hmm.
like that's also like a unique blend. They use like different sauces and all that, different like spices. So it's great to like know and all that. So I guess how
Hmm.
was that trip like? Going to Trinidad and all that.
Uh, Trinidad, honestly, I haven't been there since I was like really young, so I don't really remember it. But I have pictures and stuff,
Okay,
so
okay,
it's just that. And then Jamaica, like I haven't gone there yet, but
all right,
plan to go this year.
okay, that's
So
facts.
yeah,
Gotta manifest that like either way. So yeah,
yeah.
man. I want to talk about like since you make like stuff for both the women and men, like a lot of the songs and like even the cover arts too, like have an interesting style as well too. So you'll have
Hmm.
like Tonight, Pretty Liar, You're Mine, and We Don't Drown, which is like more of your recent stuff too. So
Yeah.
tell me more about those like creative like processes and inspirations for those.
Okay, so Tonight, Pretty Liar, and You're Mine. Those three songs are like love songs, but they're not really dedicated to anyone. They're just like inspired by like love. But like We Don't Drown, that song, I would say it's like us making a wave and we won't drown in it. Like we're not gonna drown in our own wave that we created. We're gonna push this sound to the top until we get there.
Okay. That's facts, man. And being in the Toronto GT music scene and all that, so what do you bring to the table as like a rising artist, and like what makes you like different in that sense too?
I feel like what makes me different from like the rest of the artists in Toronto is that nobody sounds like me. Nobody sounds like me. Nobody raps on the beats I rap on. Like it's all very unique. And It's like my brother, he works with artists like, or no, not artists. He works with producers from like all over the world. So like the beats that I get, they're like worldwide. They're like different sounds. They're not really the Toronto sound.
Okay.
So, you know,
That's facts. And like even with a lot of the stuff that you're working on, it's like more so like singles than like an album and all that too. So
mhm.
like are you more inclined to like drop an album soon or with the amount of singles you have?
Honestly, no. But like I drop an EP, an album, I feel like that should be like reserved for like when you have more of a fan base, when you have like more eyes on you.
That's
So
facts. And do you ever feel like singles have more of a long lasting impact than albums? Like so that, you know, even with like listeners too, like they could like hone back to the single that they like versus like an album where they have to like find like 3, 5 songs and all that. So
honestly, like as an upcoming artist, like a smaller artist, I feel like dropping singles is a lot better because you can drop an album and then after do like promo for like maybe 3 months and then get like 30 streams throughout the whole album. When you can drop one single, do promo for like 2 weeks, get 30 streams, and then keep doing that. If you like use the time that you use to make the album to make just singles instead, you can just push out more music, more consistent, like a consistent flow of music.
yeah,
It's
that's
a lot
facts.
better, yeah.
Yeah, I know this artist named Sage Harris actually. So this happened, I think, a couple years back and all that too. So like
hmm
what he did for like one of his like single releases because he actually had Jagged Edge on one of his songs and all that too. So basically, he went around like Young and Dundas, like you know, giving like business cards and all that to people
hmm
to, and it had like a QR code for people to like check out the song and all that too. So it'll be sort of like a fan like memory, like in that sense where all right, like I've listened to the song, like I know what the song's like all about too. So and I could like hone in like that memory as well too. So
hmm
I think that's like a one good idea, like you know, for people that want to like kind of do it as well too. Like I know some have different ideas, like whether it's like social media and all that. So, but you know, kind of depends on the person either way, you know. So
Yeah. I feel like that was a good idea, like going around giving out business cards.
yeah,
That's a good idea,
yeah.
but uh wait, what year was that? Do you
That
remember?
was I'd say late 2022, early 2023, around that time. So
Okay. So it's still like, yeah, I'd say pretty recent
yeah,
because music, it's changed, but it hasn't changed like a lot from that
yeah,
time.
true. Nah, that's facts, man.
Okay.
And like as far as like you know goals and all that, like do you have any like short term, like long term goals for your career and all that?
So short term goals, I really want to do like more shows and drop more music and really upgrade my following and my fan base. Like I want to get like a solid group of people that mess with my music.
Okay, that's facts, man. And like you know, I've noticed I think like one page, like one photo or like one post on your page, and I
hmm
think it's like you performing at an event and all that too. So
Oh yeah.
how was it like, you know, immersing yourself like in the music scene in Toronto and all that?
Oh, honestly, like it's been good, but it's also been hard. Like with my age and everything, I'm only 15.
Okay,
And like most events to perform, I'd have to be 19. So me getting shows and stuff, like it's really hard to do it.
yeah,
Like quoted, yeah, nah, shout out to quoted for real.
yeah.
Um, yeah.
Do you ever feel like it's a process to find like the all ages shows that you know you could actually perform at, like you know, build like a following in that sense too, or do you think like it also like kind of like takes time and all that?
It does take time. It takes a lot of time. And like when you hit up the place, like it's not guaranteed that they hit you back.
All right. I know what you mean. I know that they
hmm
have a lot of like events for like all ages too. Like it all depends on the situation. So
Yeah.
because actually one fun fact, I was trying to do more of an all ages thing so that you know like young artists could also perform too. And one fact is that you know there's a security issue. So basically they'll
Yeah.
charge like for one venue they'll charge like 800 versus you know for all ages because they have to get security. I think like the bracelets, you know, if you're drinking and all that, and like other factors too, like you know,
hmm
venue security, insurance, and all that. Versus if it's like a 19 plus show, which is like 400, 500, 600, which you know it is like more affordable too. So and all
Yeah.
depends on the venue. So whether it's expensive or whether it's you know like very affordable, but all depends on the matter. All depends on the sounds, all that sort of stuff too. So
Okay. Well, with all the costs, like I see why they do it now. Okay. Yeah, no, it makes sense.
yeah. just to like give like some game info too. So for people to like tap in and all that. But
Hmm.
as far as like your role like in the Toronto GTA like underground scene, like how would you define your role and the impact you made like in a sense?
Um, Honestly, I feel like right now everybody has the same role. Like we're all just trying to like work on our music, work on our craft to like get to the places we want to get to. So our role right now is all the same. We're all equal.
Okay. And do you feel like it is like kind of like the same for the Toronto Canadian like music scene in terms of, everyone like sort of being at like one piece and all that too? Or do you feel that there are like some issues in the Toronto Canadian like music scene?
Honestly, um, I can't really speak on any of like issues that I feel like people might be having. I would just say like right now, I feel like we're all good. We just keep doing our thing.
That's facts, man. And before we go on all that too, like usually I have a playlist called like TLOY's like Rising Acts. I kind of like update it like monthly, for people to check for people to check out like the rising acts in the Toronto scene as well as other like new releases that go on and all that too. So for free songs for people that want to like know about you or that would like to know more about you if they haven't heard about you before, like what would you like recommend like for
Hmm.
free songs only?
3 songs. I would say You're Mine, We Don't Drown, and Pretty Liar. I would say those 3 songs because like the lyrical content on those songs is what I talk about. That's like what I'm all about. And I feel like the beats, even the beat selection, that's like the type of beats I like to rap on. So I would say those 3 songs.
Okay, that's facts, man. And do you have any plans going on this year in terms of any releases, projects, and so forth?
Um Honestly, like I have like singles ready to drop, but right now I'm really just trying to focus on like the promo side of things and
Okay,
like really like the marketing side
all right,
of things.
all right.
So I'm really trying to like focus on that. I just did a song with my friend Frantic, so
Okay.
I don't know if he'll drop it or not, but got things going.
Yeah, hopefully that release works out well and all that. I'll definitely keep that in mind, like when it's like released and all that, I'll definitely check it out too. And as far as like any closing remarks, before we go, do you have any in mind?
Um, I would say like everyone just keep doing your thing, keep being who you are, and stay true to yourself. Yeah.
All right, that's facts, man. And they can follow you at 2x.kadar, right?
Uh, yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
that's facts, man.
Okay.
Yo, Kadar,
All right.
it's pretty dope having you on, man. Like,
Mhm.
pleasure, like, conversating with you, getting to know you, like, a little bit more, too. And, just, like, knowing that, like, your family lineage is, like, pretty, like, interesting, too, with the music and all that. And with
Yeah.
the releases and, like, the rise and doing, like, a lot of shows and all that. And, wish nothing but the best and all that.
Okay. Thank you. Wish you the best too, man.
I'm sure. Yo, so this is Josh, also known as Yashu. Another episode of the TLOY Talks podcast. You can get this on all platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Buzzsprout, Patreon, and much more. Definitely check out Kadar's music too on all platforms, on Apple Music and Spotify and all that, and on YouTube. Like a lot of like good releases and like a lot of like unique sound side too. Like if you're a fan of like DC the Don, Mac Miller, Earl Sweatshirt, Cash Cobain, Chowley, Eam Triplin as well too. Definitely check out his stuff and all that too. And
Mhm.
this is Josh, also known as Yashu, with Kedar, signing off.